All right, we're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our morning note. It is 9:01 Eastern Standard Time. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. You're locked into the YouTube channel here on G.A.R Capital on YouTube. Before we begin, make sure to click the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. There's a little logo and icon. That is to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, turn on notifications, anything you might miss. Make sure you don't click that link there or that square there. All right, let's talk market, shall we? Dow futures down 127, Nasdaq futures down 50, S&P pulled back from all-time closing highs, down 10 points. Russell is down 9.8 points. Bitcoin futures are at 19,405, up about 0.67%. Crude futures, $44 a barrel, 44.40, excuse me, down 0.36%. API inventories were more than expected on crude yesterday. Gold is slightly up at $18.20 an ounce. Silver down nearly 1% at $23.88 an ounce as well. Let's see here. Dollar yen 104.60 up 28 pips, and the euro dollar is actually flat, 120.69. Dollar index is flat as well, 91.37, and the VIX is up slightly, about 1.5%. So not exactly a fear in the market. Looks like just some profit taking here. So again, if you're new here, welcome aboard. Again, we just usually do the monologue where I just kind of discuss what's going on in the market, some headlines, go over pre-market, and then kind of go over what I'm looking at, and then I answer your questions. So I know there's a ton of questions you guys may ask, but again, let's kind of go over some things. First things first, let's take a look at pre-market movers. Good morning. All right, so let's see. NIO is down 11% pre-market. Palantir, we were in those calls, but down 13% at 22.25. Morgan Stanley downgraded PLTR. So I'm going to go look at the chart with you guys. Li Auto also did a fund offering, and they are down 10% pre-market. Pfizer is up 3.4% pre-market. Let's see here. What else is moving here? Apple's down about 0.5%. Boeing is flat. Looks like there's going to be an order from Ryanair for some Boeing 737 MAXs. They just had their flight with American Airlines, first passenger flight of the 737 MAX. Let's see here. Salesforce.com closed the deal with Slack. They're down 6.33%. Verizon's up 1% pre-market. Merck is up 0.74%. So American Airlines is down even with the positive vaccine news, 0.91%. Carnival, 0.35% to the downside. Norwegian is down 1.44. Looks like there's going to be more share offering for JetBlue, I just read as well. Micron was price upgraded at 0.63% now. So keep an eye on Micron. Could be something there. They were price upgraded. AMD down 0.48%. JD 1.5%. Moderna down 4.44% as Merck sold their Moderna holdings. And also Tesla's down about 4% pre-market, as we were at 600 but now pulled back to 561. And Facebook down 0.66%, as the Nasdaq is basically down today. They're the largest laggard. No, they're not the largest laggard. That'd be the Russell. So that's where we are pre-market. Okay, so what I have open, obviously we had the PLTR. I sent that out on Instagram and Twitter, basically keeping a look at it. Freebie sort of thing. You have to take a look at it. And again, pretty ugly price action. We sliced through that 100. Thanks a lot. The downgrade from Morgan Stanley. What can you do? But a little piece of advice. I've been through this before. I have a student chat called the Masterclass, and we had a trade on Snapchat. And I remember when we had it, I was down about 80-something% on it. And all the members were like, are you going to close? Are you going to close? And I gave in. And instead of going with what I know, what is this? I don't know, going with what I know and what I do, I actually closed it. I salvaged it, whatever. It soared literally Thursday and Friday, and I could have made money. But I buckled under the pressure. So when it comes to losing trades, guys, remember, keep in mind, no one's perfect. These things happen. PLTR, for all we know, could be a dead trade, but I'm willing to hold that trade, to be honest with you. Even with this downgrade, PLTR can move. And again, based on what the volume was, based on the charts, I'm willing to hold on to it. And keep in mind, if it breaks under 20, I'm actually going to buy shares anyways. So Again, I was calling for that 20 level to buy shares, but I know we're going to get there that soon. Oh, we're $2 above that anyway, still 10% above. So the downgrade hurt. Yes, this is where, as a trader, you need to understand that if you're ever panicking about a trade, there's a good chance you went too heavy. Personally, I did not go heavy on PLTR. Personally, that's just me. Again, I keep my same position size on every single trade anyways. So having uh, having this trade even go red, let's just say it's a complete loss, you move on. You move on. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You're not going to get 100% on every trade. It happens. Sometimes you get some forces out of your control, like a downgrade from Morgan Stanley. There's no way to know that ahead of time. I wish, but I would have shorted if that was the case. But again, you kind of have to kind of take a step back and see, if I'm really stressed out about a trade, there's probably a good reason I'm too heavy. And if you're too heavy, you shouldn't be in any ways. You should be cutting bait and running. And again, go based on what your comfort size is. If $100 is too much for you on a trade, then that's your limit. If to you, you have a lot of capital and you say, Carlos, I'm willing to lose $6,000 on a trade, I won't even blink. Well, that's your level too. Everyone's different. So again, this trade wasn't that expensive, to be completely honest with you. The PLTR, when I bought it, was $1.35. So even if you bought one contract, it was 135 bucks. So again, if again, we're playing speculation, let's just say you bought one or two contracts, that's about 260 bucks. If that does freak you out, completely understand. You should cut bait and run if that's how you feel. But I'm not closing this trade at all. I'm still going to hold it. This thing's a mover. Again, the market's not even open yet. Pre-market, let's just see. Again, a lot of trading, 90% of trading, guys, is waiting. And I think people need to understand that. A lot of 90% of trading is waiting. And I think a lot of people have issues with waiting. And I understand. So understand, guys, that mistakes have happened. Learn from my mistakes personally, that don't cut and run, especially when you got some time on it. Don't freak out over something. Now, again, if you're the type of person that you bet the ranch on it and you put the rent money on it, I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to kill yourself. So with that being said, let's answer some questions. Good morning. Yeah, I already answered PLTR, Peter. Good morning. What do you think about BABA selling their payment stake value on it? BABA I still think is high value. I think BABA is great. I'm still holding it. I still own the stock. And this is the Ant Financial news. And I think with management and their growth and their actual margins, they're a great company. I think you buy on dips anyways. Again, my level is 250 to 66. If that breaks, I'm buying. And again, I'll keep buying. Good morning, Yolanda. Dominique's asking about Microsoft. Calls for 218. Let's see. This is the 225s. It's pretty bullish. I'd wait for the break of 217.64, Dominique, before you do anything. The Apple, which one is the 126s for 1218? Not against that trade, honestly. I think Apple looks really good, to be completely honest with you. You could see that there was a break here. We did play it this week. It is above the 121 level. I would say if you stay above 121.50, it should be pretty solid. 121, to be fair. So as long as you stay above 121, it's still a breakout from this range. So I'm not against the trade. It gives you some time. I'm with it. I don't think that's that bad. Gobi says, good morning. With a lot of stocks down, are there any stocks you're looking to add long term? Yeah, definitely. Well, to be fair, guys, down 100 points in the Dow isn't a discount, to be completely fair. That's really nothing. Would you go to a store and buy a stock if it's down 1%, 2%, or buy anything that's clothes, shoes, and say, hey, we have a 2% off sale? Think of it that way. Trying to change your narrative in your mind to say, is it really worth buying this item 3% off, 2% off? CRM, I think, is a good buy. I mean, let's see here. I think CRM, if you're looking long-term on CRM, I think it's an absolute, I think you should buy into. Absolutely. I do not own a position on CRM. I have Amazon and Microsoft, which are the bigger players on cloud. Nothing against CRM, to be honest with you. I don't think they're terrible. I think we can get a little more juice out of it. I think around 235 would be nice to buy. That's the 100-day moving average on CRM. PLTR, again, I'm waiting for $20. PLTR, I'll buy $20. Definitely. Netflix 520s. Netflix 520, I see what you're looking at here. You're looking for the retracement of this recent high of around 522. It's expensive on Netflix, so I'd say skip it. And again, I own the stock, but I don't think it's worth buying here in regards to calls. If you broke above 510, maybe, but it's just so expensive. Your risk reward will be off, so I would skip it. Pfizer calls. Pfizer calls. Yeah, I see a gap up. Nice. You're looking at the 42s, maybe the 41 and a halves. Let's see the price action in the morning. If there's any volume, maybe we'll take a look. But I see what you're seeing. Looks pretty good. Buying price on PLTR. I have a buying price for 20. If that hits, I'm buying the stock, personally. Thoughts on Square? Let's see here. I do like Square long term. Again, guys, I own the stock. I love the stock, by the way. I had an alert placed on Square right on. Let me go and close one of these. I had an alert on Square. Actually, I have to move it now to 160 is my level for a buy, which will be the 100-day moving average. You can see that we broke above the 50, and we've traded it before. It's not like a big deal. We've traded that name. We did very well on it. I believe that was a freebie as well in Square. But Square is a great name. You own it long term. Again, it does move with the NASDAQ. Looks kind of similar as the NASDAQ futures as Square. So kind of look at that. What's your strike and expiration on PLTR? I have the 30 calls for this week, mind you. It's going to be pretty ugly this morning. Would you consider roll PLTR? No, I'm not going to roll that thing. I believe that once you have a trade and it doesn't work out, you know, and then the weekends, you just move on. And then you look and see for other opportunities. I just hate to double or triple down. I don't do that, ever. In this business, you have to have your ego in check. And I don't have a monstrous ego. If I'm wrong, guys. Trust me, I'm not a god. I'm wrong sometimes. And PLTR might be wrong. I mean, it happens. It happens. Again, I'm still holding it. So again, we've been right many times, but we've been wrong many times too. So I don't want you guys thinking that I'm above reproach. Trust me, I can be wrong. Our team can be wrong sometimes. It's okay. You have to just understand the market can get you. It can. I had no idea that Morgan Stanley was going to downgrade the stock. That's just the reality. Thoughts on AMD? AMD just actually announced right now high performance CPUs and Radeon Pro GPUs power. Again, I love AMD long term. I own it. And AMD is actually on the move. Looks great here, mind you. That break of the new all-time high of 94.20, then you take a look. AMD looks really interesting, guys. I wouldn't trade for this week. Take a look for next one. Don't listen to sucker that uses emotions. Look for technical analysis. Yeah, I mean, you can't use emotions. You have to use your analysis correct. Let's see. ACB calls for today. ACB calls for today, huh? Nothing there. I could see the name that's boosting, but no, nothing there to see. To be honest, it's kind of ranging here. You have to get above 12 before we look at it. QQQ December 4th. SPY. Yep, still looking good. Yeah, again, pretty spacey, just bouncing off the 50-day moving average across the board. You could see straight up bullish here on Qs. And SPY, same thing. We do have NFP, non-farm payroll, on Friday. So I'm still confident in those. I'll take 2% of Air Jordans. There you go. 2% off, right, because they're usually higher price marked. Why 235 if it's at 225 right now? I don't know what you're talking about, 225 or 235. Oh, CRM. CRM. Oh, it's at 225. My apologies. I was looking at the daily. The daily doesn't show the actual chart. So actually, your gap fill is right around 219. So it broke the 100. Try 219 and see if you get there. Sorry, when you go on the daily, it doesn't show you pre-market. My apologies, they're rolling. Are the BABA calls for 300 done this week? Not to me, they're not. I'm holding on to those. I'm going to hold on. Again, I just repeated the monologue. I am not closing anything. I've seen this market move. I'm willing to hold on to it. WWE calls 50 calls. WWE 50 calls. Wow. WWE is looking pretty solid. I got to see the volume. Let's see how it moves this morning, and let's see what we get. Again, I don't know the volume today. We have to wait for the open. Plug is breaking down. EV is just breaking down for the most part. You can see that it is moving down, and NIO is down, Tesla's down. So again, nothing new. If you're looking at Plug and you see the 2208 level, if that breaks down, then we can go ahead and start looking at puts, if anything. But I don't think that the market is ready for some puts on these names this morning anyways. You have to wait. What do you thought on the Chinese legislation? Which one? Chinese legislation. There's many. Thoughts on T. Love T long term for the dividend. But again, compressing, not much action there. Which app do you use for these charts? This is TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim platform. And CCL. CCL, not much there. You'd have to break above the 50 around 2081 before you do anything, and then target 22, if that. What's a good Tesla long-term entry point? Tesla, I have my next alert on Tesla for 508.61. That's my level. 508.61, I will be buying more shares. And that's all she wrote, kids. That's where we are. Walmart, last one, Walmart. Walmart long term is a great stock. I sold it for some Amazon. So again, I'm not against Walmart. They pay a dividend. I like it long term, absolutely. But for calls, there's nothing there. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anything new, we'll keep you up to date as always. Talk to you guys soon.